Welcome back, everyone. I wanted to take time today to talk about Vana'diel. Not the history of Vana'diel, but what Vana'diel means to me. And talk about why Vana'diel and Final Fantasy XI in general is such a special game and the world is so special. If everyone likes this video, I would like to make it a series called Stories from Vana'diel to share memories and discuss things in general, with potential collaborations from other creators. So, let's dive in. I started my journey way back at the launch of the PlayStation 2 release. However, I eyed the game well before that on the PC game shelf at any store that sold video games. So, finally being able to play the game was such a joy since I was in love with the Final Fantasy series, and this was the only one I haven't played yet. I make my Play Online account and off I went to explore the world of Vana'diel. I was on the Seraph server. This was before you could select your server, and I was a Taru starting in the great nation of Windurst. I bet very old school 11 players remembers their first time logging into the game and those experiences. This was the first time I got to explore Vana'diel. I met several people along the way, and I eventually got myself to level 10 as a little Taru warrior, and made my way to the Valkyrum Dunes. I ended up joining this all-Taru party, and ended up joining my first Link Shell. Shout out to the Tarus of Honor. And a few months went by, and ultimately, a buddy of mine in the Link Shell said, "Hey, my main character is on Odin, and Tarus of Honor is kind of winding down. I will pay for a friend's pass and give it to you, and you can come join me on that server." So I did, and I made my way to Odin. Again, I was a Taru from Windurst, except this time I rolled a monk. The Link Shell he was in had a level requirement of 30, so off I went to level as a Taru monk. Ultimately, I ended up getting level 30 and joining the Link Shell. This would be my main Link Shell I play with for the next 10 to 15 years. Shout out to Infamous Dynasty. I wanted to set the stage with a little backstory because in this Link Shell, we would explore Vana'diel together, either doing Link Shell made events together like low-level Bubbly Bernie runs or garrison events. We dabbled into Ballista and Brenner. This Link Shell was my main shell. It was a social shell for me in the beginning. However, ultimately, we had enough people to start doing Sky, then Sea, and Limbus to salvage when it came out. Even Abyssia when it came out. We never did Dynamics together as a shell, but it was almost a one-stop shop. We all were able to grow together and experience Vana'diel in various different ways, all together. I vividly remember doing the promies with everyone and making mistakes, ultimately wiping the group. But it was still very fun because it was friends doing stuff together. There were moments of absolute glory by watching best in slot drops during in-game events. Then there wasn't good times by losing all claims in Sky after farming TODs. Vana'diel itself felt like a living, breathing world and was more than just a game world because of these friendships. While you may be watching this and thinking, well yeah, Final Fantasy XI is a social sandbox MMO, so sure, it's doing its job, and I would agree with you. While I would see people come and go from our little Link Shell as we expanded, however, we always had a fairly large core group of people that always stayed the same. We celebrated fellow Link Shell members having babies and even mourned the loss of others. We got together in alliances and did events like the Feast of Swords, and we had Link Shell weddings. While I played other MMOs on the side, but nothing ever compared to Final Fantasy XI, and no world compared to Vana'diel. Even when you're just hanging out in a city of your choice, the world felt alive, and you eventually got to know other fellow adventurers who were just doing the same thing as you. Just hanging out and relaxing, just chatting with their Link Shell or fellow adventurers in whatever city they were in. To the crafters actively honing their crafts and making items for people or to sell. Or even walking out to Rolandberry Fields or Batilla Downs and browsing everyone's bazaars before the city tax was removed and trying to find that good deal, or just a needed item. This to me is what Vana'diel is, and to me it means the world. This is a world I love no matter how big or small the population gets of my fellow adventurers, because as of right now, Vana'diel is still alive and well, and will always welcome in new or returning adventurers. I could have made this video 45 seconds long and just said, Vana'diel is the friends we made along the way, but I wanted to share some stories and take a trip down memory lane. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, as it really helps the channel grow. And if you want to see more gaming content like this, hit that subscribe button. Comment down below what Vana'diel means to you, or share your favorite memory or story from Vana'diel. Join us every Wednesday from 9 p.m. Central Standard Time to 11 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on YouTube or over on Twitch at twitch.tv/ZeroHunter123, where we play a variety of games like Final Fantasy XI. Well, hope to see you again soon.